down, down. I'm going down, 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 down. I'm going down, 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 down. I'm going down, down, down.
All right, you guys, we are back for our first episode of the 4SIDES. You guys met all four of us yesterday as we just kind of shot the shit and introduced ourselves. Big shout out to Raymond for doing that little cool video there you guys just seen. And yeah, here we are. First episode. Remember, it's a 3-part series podcast. Monday, like tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday, all at 7 p.m. And we are going to just be doing random topics, see where the conversation takes us. And yeah, and we're going to do a call in at the end of the show if anyone has any questions or wants to talk about anything. But anyway, you guys, that's it, and welcome. Let's start with Rachel on that left here. Introduce yourself again.
Again. Sensei, hello. My name is Rachel Yayaki-Koot. I'm from the Beardies and Okamasas Cree Nation, and I'm excited to be here today to be in this space, to share perspectives, to listen. And I just want to say that I'm coming here with an open mind, as well as at the end of all of this, no matter what's said, whatever views we share or hold, it's all love for me. So I just wanted to say that. And so, yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Raymond Fox. I'm 25 years old, and I'm from the Sweetgrass Cree Nation. Currently, I'm a student athlete, and I also host a podcast called Foxing Around. Like Rachel said, man, it's all love. I'm so happy to be here. We had a great time yesterday, vibing out and chilling. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. So thank you guys for having me.
And last but not least,
hey guys, it's Haley Rose here, 17 years old. I'm from Mosquito Grizzly Bear Head Lean Man First Nation. I'm currently living in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, Treaty 6 territory. Not much to it. Junior Citizen of the Year, National Ambassador of Hope, doing my thing, and I'm excited to talk here with you guys all today and have a good chat.
Awesome. And me, my name is Nathan, and I'm a host of a lot of things, but I do like the podcast, and I'll just end it right there. And yeah, actually, I got to give out my website. I never give out my shout out to my website. Hold on, you guys. You guys, go sign up at my website. IOPS.ca stands for Indigenous Opportunities. It's a job website, and jobs are posted there daily. Done. That's it. That's all. So yeah, here we are, you guys. Yesterday we were deciding how we were going to do these topics and just talk about random stuff, and it could be anything. And we came up with the wheel. So we're going to bring up this wheel, and there it is. I'm going to put it full
It's like
screen.
a game show.
All right, so that, yeah, this feels like we're giving away a prize. So I'm just putting this wheel on here. So what we're going to do, all of us submitted some ideas of what we want to talk about, and we're going to just spin it. And I did put on a post to see if there's any more ideas. So if you guys have any ideas and the topics in the comments and you want to talk about, let us know. But yeah, we're going to spin this wheel. Are we doing it 20 minutes then?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk for 20 minutes, and then we're going to just spin the wheel again. And then, but if there's another cool topic that comes up, maybe in the comments, we'll bring that up and maybe do that. We're going with the flow on this, and we're just seeing what works and what doesn't, but having a good time. All right, go ahead. Spin that wheel.
Let's do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh my
No, God!
What?
Own,
No!
Owning your mister?
No!
owning your mistakes.
All right, look at what are we talking about? Hey, that
Owning
was mine, eh?
your mistakes.
Oh
That
my
was
goodness.
Nathan's.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Owning. I gotta put that in the banner here. Hold on. So who wants to start off on that one, man? Owning your mistakes. That's
Let's start with you because it was your topic.
no, I've made way too many.
Uh,
All right, you know what? I will start off because look at that. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this.
Did someone start the timer?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, you
Hey.
guys. Owning your mistakes. First topic of this 3-part series of the 4 sides, and I'm gonna start it off. Owning your mistakes, man. I have made. Oh shit! I don't even know if I want to go all the mistakes I made, but I'm gonna. I've made a lot of them. I've made a few that I haven't owned up to yet, and why I haven't owned up to them.
what?
There's a deeper thing behind it, but I guess how would we go about that in general, or why people don't own up to their mistakes? How would you guys think about that?
Well, like do you have an example of a time that you owned up to a mistake, what you considered a mistake, and maybe what you learned from it?
Oh, driving drunk, got caught, and then and then I got caught driving again while I was disqualified, and I tried almost running away from the cop on that one. So after I got caught in shit, he was just talking to me, and I owned up to a lot of shit while I was getting driven to the police station and under arrest. And because of some of the things I did say to the cop, he dropped some charges. And yeah, I just got that was one big time of me owning up to my mistake and admitting to the cop. I don't know if it was because I was scared shitless I was going to get into more trouble, but yeah, he dropped few charges, and yeah, I just got charged with driving without a license. So that's one mistake. That was one of the mistakes I owned up to. And then my cousin there, dang Nathan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I had a problem with never owning up to my mistakes, or just like playing it off as something that wasn't my fault. It was like, oh, okay, I did this. Well, it's because of this or because of that. It's never my fault. It was never something that I did personally. So I think it took, man, it's probably one of the hardest things you have to do to like really be honest with yourself and be like, okay, why am I doing this? Take a deeper dive into who you are as a person, and then realize the mistakes you're making and unlearning those behaviors. So I'm just starting to kind of catch that on now. But for a lot of years, man, yeah, I was just like, it's not my fault, like it wasn't my fault I did this. It was my fault I did that. Like, never.
Okay, so he just cut out. I want to tell you that Raymond's he's in a rough he's on res Wi-Fi almost, so he's gonna probably, hopefully it doesn't cut in and out, but yeah, that's why he just disappeared like that. And he was actually saying
He'll be back.
Res Thigh.
Yeah, go ahead, Haley or Rach.
I'll go. Honestly, I made, since I'm still young, I mean, I can still make mistakes, but I made a lot of mistakes. You could say I was a pretty wild child when I was younger. But I didn't let that like define who I was, I guess. Like I accepted what I did and what I went through. I ended up to my mistakes, and I was like, I don't want to be that person anymore. Like I got to move up from this. And that's basically why I'm here today, because I wanted to do something with that pain. So all those mistakes that I was making was because I was in pain. And, I finally accepted that. And I was like, I need to do something about this because it's like not healthy and it's not good for me. And so it was difficult, but like definitely like I learned how to accept what I was doing was wrong and like doing something about it, not just staying in that position stuck there. And like I'm still going to make a lot of mistakes in my life, but like what I did in the past, like it's brought me to where I am today. And I'm super thankful for that. Like where I am today I wouldn't be here unless I did those things, because it really taught me something for later. And I'm just, yeah.
Man, old
Yes,
soul,
good
man.
job. Yeah, no
Old
kidding.
soul, man. Like it's
Amazing.
like crazy. Oh, go ahead, Rach.
Well, so for me, I would say it was more of repeating patterns and the same kind of cycles over and over again, which over time I didn't really see as necessarily mistakes, but more of an unconscious thing, where it's maybe I didn't really know how to navigate something or like move through something in a better way. And that was usually around more particularly around relationships for me. I had experiences with abandonment, and what I found was I sought out partners that treated me like pretty shitty to match my self-worth at the time, but then again, reflected, like maybe not necessarily the best things in myself. And so I always kind of like left a relationship and then went back to the relationship and then left the relationship and then went back to the relationship thinking that it was going to be different and that kind of thing. More of like people pleasing, fixing myself, changing myself, healing myself, doing something different to be good enough for somebody, instead of just really like stepping away, looking at my own shit, working through that and like letting it go. Right. So there's a lot of like repeating. And again, it's an unconscious thing. We don't necessarily know that we're doing that until it's like finally like, you're in a fucking abusive relationship and it's just like you don't want to do that anymore. So I think I don't really like use the word mistakes in my vocabulary or like kind of field of consciousness. I try to just like be more mindful that we're all doing the best that we can with what we know when we know it. So it's like really just like living life and going through our journey and then looking back and saying, wow, like look where I am now and who I am now. I'm glad like Haley said, I'm glad I had that experience because it allowed me to be who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, that was good. And obviously me and you have been through a little bit more, I guess, than the younger ones here. But I mean, still everyone's done their own thing. And yeah, so thank you for that, Rachel. So those that are joining us real quick, we are spinning a wheel. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Woo! And we're just kind of picking random topics here for today's show. And we ended up on owning your mistakes. That was what it is, owning your mistakes. And so yeah, we're just kind of talking about topics here. We're getting 4 different sides, and so far, like since yesterday, we found like it was flowing good, and it's already continuing. And I just want to say, you guys, awesome job. And it's good to I guess to just be real on here, and just like kind of a warning for anyone that's watching. We are being real on here. We don't know where these conversations go. We're all doing this for fun and to inspire and just have some fun on the show. But yeah, just a warning. We don't, there might be things said on here that might trigger you. So just keep that in mind while you're watching. But
be gentle with yourself too. If you feel triggered, like just observe it, observe that feeling, the emotions coming up, and just breathe through it.
Yeah.
And if we're really sorry, really don't care. Just kidding.
Triggers are not a bad thing. They're not a bad thing. And I think they get like such a bad rap because everyone's like, oh, don't do that. You'll trigger somebody. Oh, don't do that because it triggers trauma. Like we all fucking have trauma. We've all been through trauma. We're indigenous. Like this is like something that we're moving through. But triggers are just indicators to show us where we have healing to do within ourselves. That's it. That's all you need to see it as. It's not a bad thing or a good thing, right? It's just a perspective you can have around it.
Yeah, that's Go ahead, Haley. You were going to say something?
No, I was just agreeing. That was a good point.
Thanks,
Yeah, I know
Daisy.
triggers
I
are
like
huge.
that.
Triggers are huge, and it's yeah, you're so right. Like we just have to learn how to deal with them and learn how to learn from them, learn how to learn from them. Not even a thing, and
Learn how to learn. There you go.
learn how to learn.
From your mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From your mistakes. You know what? Like, I made mistakes, and a lot of people, still see me as that person, like, because I did one thing, and then they judge you based off that one thing, but it's like, that's not who you are anymore. Like, you did that, but you
Mhm.
moved on from that. Like,
Do you
you
think
took that
older
as a
people judge
lesson.
you? Do you think older people judge you because of your age when they
I-
shouldn't?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
think
gonna
a
admit,
couple people
man,
there.
I've judged
Yeah.
you, younger people just because how old they were, not thinking, man, I was that age and I was doing some good shit before. And some older people, they say some other stuff, and you're like, damn, right? When we should be encouraging, right? Even if you're gonna make mistakes along the way, we should encourage the hell out of you guys.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, asking why,
You know,
not terrorizing them for why they did that. Like actually taking in consideration, like, why they might have done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, yeah.
Raven,
I feel like a lot of people are afraid to let younger people into their spaces and speak because of what we're going to say or what we're going to do or what we're going to think because we're moving in a new direction that's not their normal, right? Because they've been around for so long and they've had a certain way of living and a certain way of understanding, and we're changing that narrative. And thankfully there's people like you guys out there that are younger or older that are willing to have us at these tables, but there are some people that are so afraid of us that the
mm-hmm.
only thing they want to do is shut us down, man. Shut our voices down, don't listen to us, play us off as we're not important because we're going to change the status quo, and they know it, right? We're just biding our time until they get old enough to push them out. But it's yeah, it's a new world, man. That's what I think, and it's cool that people are getting involved with the youth and listening to them for once, man, because for too long it's been suppressed, man.
Mhm.
I like how
I
you said
agree.
that, getting rid of the status quo. I, for one, have in my 20s, I kind of followed the status quo because I thought that was the thing to do. But after that, man, it was like, yeah, status quo, man. I really like that, getting rid of the status quo. That should be the whole thing going forward. That should be 2021 slogan, man. Getting rid of the status quo.
Yeah, skip
Yeah.
the ideas.
It's just like it's a new paradigm of thinking, right? Like there's just you think about like all the systems that are in place or like, that were built by like old white men, right? How many years ago? That's old paradigm thinking, like so moving away and changing narratives it's just like it's inevitable. It has to happen. It's just there's no place for those things in like the way that humanity is moving towards, right? It's like those have happened. They didn't really work. They're not inclusive. They're not loving. They're not like a way to have everybody kind of like take up space. So it's just I love that like the younger people, which I think I live with, like I'm still young, but like when it comes to things like advocacy, like let the younger people do that. Like there's a reason why there's so much advocacy happening right now with our younger generations because you guys are good at it, because you guys are stepping up and just like ready to speak, ready to like, say what's on your mind, to like knock down like old paradigms of thinking, shift all that shit, because those old people are dying. Like I'm not talking about our elders and people with knowledge and things like that. I'm talking about like the people who build these systems and things like that, and like the government putting things into place. Those people are like 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. It's time to like move away from it. So I think that you guys are doing that in a really good way.
I bless.
Right on.
We have 6 more minutes to talk about mistakes. But you know what? I had this friend. She used to say, made a couple mistakes, and it was about like going home with the wrong person.
The wrong snag.
Yeah. And that's what the mistakes were. Like straight up, it's just like I made a few mistakes.
Oh man, yeah. That's yeah. Shit. I've probably been that mistake a few times, but I've probably made yeah. Anyway, moving forward here. That's funny. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. It's nice to hear all of the different opinions, and it's I think honestly, just hearing your guys' responses to that, I think our future is looking really good. I think it's like your guys' generation that are gonna, like Rachel was saying, like rise up because you guys are not scared to say things. You're not, and you got that instant connection on social media where you guys can reach hundreds of thousands of people, like just like that, right? So that's good. That's good. All right, man. I think are we done there? Anyone want to finish up on that one, or we're gonna move on?
I say we move on. That was good. That's a good one. But let's get the wheel back up.
That was a good one.
I didn't think that one would be good, but hey, it worked. All right, we're going to be spinning that wheel again, you guys. And just before we spin it, the ones who are joining, we are spinning this wheel every 20 minutes. We have a topic every 20 minutes. If you guys have a topic you want us to touch up on, put it in the comments, and who knows, maybe we'll just carry on with that right after. But right now, let's go on to the next. Oh, did you got to remove it, eh?
I have to remove it?
Yeah. When just spin it again. But I mean, when the one comes up, then just hit remove. So go ahead. Oh, yeah, you can remove it there, I guess.
Do it real quick. There we go.
Look at that, the boomer teaching the tricks.
Spin that shit.
I'm learning.
We talk. What is this one?
Revitalization of mistakes.
Revitalization. All right. Ooh. All right. Revitalization. I can't even say the word.
Revitalization.
Revitalization of indigenous. Is that what it is? Of indigenous languages?
Yep.
For one, me growing up, man, basics, tanse, manto, kimaga, all that, just basic words. My mom speaks fluent, and it kind of stopped there. At my generation, I wish, and it's my own fault because I've never actually dived into learning our language again. I don't know. There's a reason why, but I just don't know what the reason is. I don't know if I'm scared to, if because even people that understand and can, understand what people are saying, they're scared to speak it because they're afraid how they sound. I just get intimidated when I'm around fluent speakers and I say one word, and if I say it wrong, you don't know if you're going to get teased or not, but that's my opinion right now. I want to hear the rest, so we'll start with.
Let me jump in.
All right, let's go.
All right. So first things first, before anything else, the reason that the language is gone is colonization. It is the sole reason I believe that languages are where they are at today. With that being said, though, people like myself, the younger generation, like you're saying, Nathan, like people are one of the main problems is that they're scared to speak it because they don't want to be wrong, right? And there's a system in place of older people that will tease you if you're wrong, or they won't take the time to go out and teach you the way that you need to be taught, right? Like it's like, it's just something you should learn, and that's just their own personal opinions and things that they've been through. So I can kind of get that too. The other thing that I don't think is a good thing is that we are going to a white university system and learning our language for $1,500 a semester to get back bits and pieces of our language. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. So I am currently trying to learn as basic as possible with some people that are very helpful and very open-minded about teaching other people. So at the end of the day, it is up to us, I believe, to revitalize the Cree language or the indigenous languages that you're current to. But we need to also make it aware that we need the correct people in those situations to be able to talk to us and speak for us.
Right
And
on.
mic drop.
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Word.
That was good.
Well, he just made what I'm about to say. Just, I don't know.
Top that, Haley. Top that.
You know what? As being so young, I am so like, it makes me sad that I haven't even been surrounded by people who know the language. Like in my family, like there's nobody in my household that can speak the language. So even if I was learning it, I'm not constantly speaking to it, like the language, to my parents, to my brothers, to my sisters. You know what I mean? So how do I expect to learn the language if I can't speak it all the time, if I'm not using it all the time? Like, you know what I mean? Because nobody would understand. They wouldn't be able to have a conversation with me. They wouldn't be able to reply. And, you know, like, and it's tough because I am very passionate about like our language and stuff because, you know, I don't want to lose it. Like it's a big part of us. And if we do lose our language, then for the next generations, like what is it going to look like for them? And so like for languages like me, like I started a Cree learning class at the North Battleford Comprehensive High School because I thought it was such a big issue. And, you know, like it was a great turnout. We had a lot of students who did realize that, you know, like they wanted to learn the language. Like it's important. Like it's a connection, right? It's a connection to our land and our nature. Like it's how we, how do you say it? I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to word it. It's like going crazy right now, but, I don't know. I think it's really important. And, you know, like more of our elders are seeing this, that a lot of like the younger generations aren't learning their language, and it's upsetting and it's hard. But, you know, once we lose that, like it's going to be a tough world out there.
Yeah, you're so right, you're Haley. Thank you. Rach, go ahead.
I think for me, like, I'm just trying to think what I want to say and how I want to say this. So my dad's first language is Cree, and like he's fluent in Cree. My grandparents are fluent Métis speakers, but never taught us Cree growing up. There was way too much shame as an urban Indigenous man for as my father. There was a lot of shame around that still, right? And when you moved to the city and leave the res, there wasn't a big community where you were immersed in the language. You weren't speaking Cree every day, all day to people anymore. And so, but you know, he's also a language teacher, and he's been teaching Cree for several years to inner city kids in Saskatoon. And for me, I had to work through a lot of grief around the not knowing, you know, the language, not getting the chance to learn the language, even though my father, you know, could speak the language, and even like a little bit of resentment, you know, to be honest. Like he's out teaching kids Cree, but didn't like, why aren't you fucking teaching your own kids Cree? Like it didn't make sense to me, but also didn't really understand, like on a empathetic level at the time, you know, why he didn't, that opportunity wasn't really there, why he didn't really do that. And so I took Cree in university when I was doing my B.Ed, and I loved it. But again, like Nathan said, I just didn't feel comfortable like saying words and around certain, you know, like I was very mindful of like what I would say around certain people. And then I got my first job as a kindergarten Cree teacher in a Cree bilingual school. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, don't even speak Cree fluently. I'm literate in Cree. I can read it and write it. But I learned so much in that job because I had to learn it, I had to practice it, and then I had to teach it. And because I know we have these systems and these schools where it's like backwards, right? But just even having that opportunity, it really helped me see things from a different perspective. But also to see like little kids picking up these little, Cree songs and Cree words and things like that. Like the light on their faces and the joy that they, have when they get to speak the language. They're there to learn the language. And I think that's really important. And that's the time to really, well, when you're small and stuff, right? But it's like the words here and there and this and, like learning that. But I also believe on another level that we always have access to things, that they're never really ever lost. We can always choose to access different levels of consciousness where we are saying, learning my language is easy. Learning my language comes natural to me, instead of saying things like, it's hard to learn Cree. It's hard to learn my language. It's dying. I'm scared it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like you're creating everything by what you think, what you feel, and what you say. So one thing around language revitalization is like, how are we speaking about it? I've had dreams in Cree and I understood everything. But in my waking life, I don't know. I'm like, what does that mean? I was running around in the staff room. I've found out from Cree elders and fluent Cree speakers when I was teaching. And I was telling all these little 5-year-old kids to go put on your winter coat. Put on your winter coat. Pipon postash tagay. I kept saying, Pipon postash tagay. Like, go put on your winter coat. That's how I was saying it. Here, I'm telling them, I'm so proud of myself, they're like, no. They're laughing at me. You're telling those kids to go put on their winter cocks. And I was like fucking mortified. And I was like, it's a humbling journey to not know any of that stuff, but like to learn a word here and there, to practice and to say it. And so I stopped telling the kids to put on their winter cocks, and I told them to put on their winter coats instead. But I just think if people want to learn it, learn it. If you want to speak it, speak it. Doesn't matter what anybody says. Like, are we not beyond that yet?
Yeah, no, I like how you said that, where you instead of, you're so right. When we say it that I can't learn it because it's too hard, we're already defeating ourselves right there. We got to change that narrative, and our mindset is saying, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to learn. Just, I guess, repeat it like that, and put out that positive out there. I'm just want to throw up this comment here by Taijan. There are also a lot of older people out there that are in their old ways, correcting you right away if you say a Cree word wrong or wrong pronunciation. And it's frustrating to those that are trying, but kept down by those people. We should have more people encouraging rather than correcting. Encourage, word of the day. And that's true. That is very true. It goes back to that you don't want to, right, mess up in front of the old people, and like you're not sure which way that's gonna go, where they're gonna tease the shit out of you, or they might just sit there and say, just go out. We're gonna teach you, this is how you say it, and encourage you to say it properly, like make you feel more comfortable with speaking it right. I want to give a big shout out to Simon Bird, who runs a Facebook page, and it's called Cree Simon Says, and he's usually doing a morning class 6, 7, or 8 in the morning, and also Kevin Lewis, who are both trying to revitalize the language. So big shout out to them, and anyone else, a big shout out if you're trying to revitalize any dying language, any dying indigenous language. So big shout out to you guys. And like I said, Raymond's popping in and out right now. He's on res Wi-Fi, and he's battling the Wi-Fi system right now. So hopefully we can get him back on. So, but thank you.
I
Go ahead, Ray. Or Haley.
I feel like a part of me is always like missing because I don't know my language. Like I just want to be like culturally connected to like my people, and it's like it's really hard not learning that language, and I honestly wish I could have. And that's like one of the big things I hope to like do is speak my language, learn my language, because when I grow up, I want to be able to teach my kids my language as if it's their first, not their second. And really, like Cree should be my first language, and it isn't. And it's difficult, and it's like like that connection that I wish I could have to elders and stuff. It's like I don't know. It's just like a part of me's missing because I don't know that language, and I should, because it's a part of who we are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, it is. It's true. Like I think all of us have that missing feeling when we can't. When you're around it and you hear people speaking it, it feels really good to listen to it, even though for me personally, I'm just catching words here and there, but it's so
Mhm.
nice to listen to. I got a question, and this is even people that are watching right now, and this is going for you, other three. If there was a podcast, and I've been pushing someone to try to do a podcast, if there was a podcast that was just totally Cree, would you guys watch it? Like, would it be interesting to you, even though a majority couldn't really understand it, or if you could only catch a few words? Would that be something that you think would help revitalize our language? Who wants to take that one?
Mm.
You don't know?
Somebody said, "Yep." You know what? I would have to agree,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's just like the way like little babies learn. You know what I mean? Like when
Mhm.
babies hear, like when we're talking to them, after a while they start to understand it, right? Like if they're repeating it, they learn it. So like if I was listening to these podcasts every single day and they were introducing themselves the same way every day, I would start to catch on to these words. Like I would know what they're saying because they're repeating the same words. And I don't know. I
No,
I
you're
probably would learn. Like,
you're so
yeah.
right. Raymond, Rach.
Um, go ahead, Rachel.
No, go ahead. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would learn. I think it would. I don't like. Anytime I hear Cree being spoken, I don't really understand anything of it. But it's like a certain level of like comfort I get when I hear it, though. It's like a warm blanket almost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
It's
yeah,
like that
I would.
soothing feeling you hear when you hear it.
Yeah, so I would agree that yes, it would be entertaining. It would be knowledgeable. It would be cool too if there was almost like a way that you could have the whole show and maybe do like subtitles or something, or pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of Cree subtitles, you do English subtitles, and then that way people are kind of catching on to what you're saying, and then they're able to do their own work within like just on a pod. Like somebody does a podcast, puts English subtitles in there, then you're kind of learning or at least understanding what they're saying. And then you're gonna start, like me personally, I would just study it and be like, oh, okay, so now like start to understand the terms in that way. Whether you like it or not, we kind of have to use English to be able to understand it. Some people, like we're gonna have to get taught in English, which sucks, but it's the way that it might have to be for some of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
A good example of that is with Fallon Baptiste, sorry, put out a Cree Christmas song or CD, and it made so much sense. He goes, you can learn Cree like that just by listening to that CD because you already know the English words. You already know the English words, and she's just saying it in Cree, so you can kind of learn that way, right? I guess I go back to the same thing as if they had in subtitles in English. We got another minute for this one, so go ahead, Rach, finish it off.
I feel like I said a lot.
Okay.
No, I mean, I would watch it. Yeah, I love learning Cree. I would like to be fluent in Cree at some point in my life. And, whether I'm learning it by reading it and practicing it, yelling at my kids in it. I mean, listening to my dad speak it, elders, people that speak it, that I have, the privilege of being around or engaging with. I mean, yeah, I would watch a podcast about that. Like, if it was on, it's just like being in a Cree class, learning, but you're also seeing people in conversation. I think that's really important, because it's one thing to be like, yeah, payak niso nisto, like learn how to count, but there's another thing when it comes to like conversing, right? It's yeah.
All right, let's hit up these questions because we're already on the 20-minute mark there. I'm from Sutina, from Alberta. We're Dene. I totally enjoyed listening to Rachel's teaching experience. I myself started learning my language when the pandemic started in March. Big shout out, Cheyenne, for doing that. Having no background in it, no speakers in my family. Wow. I started learning mostly over the phone with an elder due to the pandemic. Wow. In October, I got a call from the Sutina Gana Institute to start as a language teacher at an elementary. Wow. I'm brand new to the language and brand new to being a teacher and learning. Wow.
That's amazing.
You get one of these, Cheyenne.
I think you're deadly. I love watching you be deadly.
That's awesome.
One of those. That's where it's at, man. Hearing stories like that, man, make everything worthwhile. Just doing this kind of stuff. See, and you got to encourage that stuff. So, yeah, man, that's wow, Cheyenne. That's pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, language
Gotta
learning
start somewhere.
Yeah, language learning in terms of the white way isn't effective. Full immersion is the best and only way. Go live with an elder and tell them to speak the language only, and you will learn or you will starve. That's what I was told. 100%.
Starving over here.
But that's true, and that's why I'm pushing to somebody start an Indigenous podcast, an Indigenous language podcast. Whatever language you want to say, but just start one, and hopefully it'll be like a butterfly effect where other people will start doing it, right? Imagine if we were all speaking in Cree right now. Like we were all speaking in Cree, right? And just conversing with each other right now. People were just like listening to us. It would be a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last comment here. Top way. Last comment here, and then we'll do this wheel spin again. My mushroom talk mostly Cree to his grandchildren. We would ask Cookham what he was saying. That's how we learn to understand. Yes. Yeah.
Let's get the wheel rocking.
My late Cookham would always speak Cree to us, and I would just sit there like this, not knowing. But you would catch on, right? Because what she did, she would speak Cree to us, and then she would say the Cree version right after. And then that's how you kind of just start piecing words together. So anyway, that was an awesome topic. Who brought that one up? Good job.
Great.
That was a good one. So, okay, so you guys, if you're just joining, every 20 minutes, we're just hitting on a new topic here. So the first one was, what was the first one?
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Mistakes. And then the second one was, which was pretty good, was revitalization of that thing. All right, so let's remove that one and let's spin that wheel.
All right.
And if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, it could be about anything.
That shit.
There was one that said the Great Reset. Somebody wanted to talk about paranormal.
You ready?
Yeah.
Give her.
What's it gonna be?
Spin that shit.
We need like a good thing.
Like a
go! I don't want to
turntable.
talk about yes.
Oh, yay!
Hey, remove that now. Hit remove there, Haley.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
What is it? I can't even see with the res Wi-Fi.
Relationships.
It's relationships. I'm gonna be honest here, you guys. You do not want my advice because at 42 I'm still single.
That doesn't mean anything.
I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. So we got 20 minutes on relationships, and I'm going to start off because no, I'm not going to start off. I want someone to take the lead on this one because I don't know where to start on this.
I'll take the lead on this one.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
This is my. No, I'm just joking. I actually am like Nathan. No. Okay. Relationships. I've had really nice relationships, very brief, like when I was younger, but also very unhealthy, abusive, narcissistic, you fucking name it, relationships. And the main thing that I can say about any of that is the most important relationship is always going to be the relationship with yourself. Period. That's it. Nada. If you don't know who you are, if you don't take accountability and responsibility for your own shit, for your life, for your thoughts, your emotions, the things you do, what you say to somebody, a partner, how you respond to life, how you respond to trauma, chaos, things outside of you in the external world. If you don't know who you are on an internal level, you will always seek to find relationships that are going to reflect those heavy things within you that you're carrying around. And this is why I'm always going to say that healing is so important. Getting to know yourself in a way that you can be by yourself. You don't need anybody. You're not dependent on anybody. You're sovereign. You love yourself, but yet you're open to sharing space with somebody that allows them to be the same way, not like attached and like jealous and like, oh, I need you 24/7 and you didn't text me today and blah, 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 blah. I can't do shit like that. I like my solitude too much. So if I'm ever end up in a relationship again, it's going to be very, very different than the kinds of relationships that I've experienced up to this point. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
All right. Damn. I'm going to jump in here, you guys. Sorry. You're 100% right. I've been single to be 3 years in March, and this is the longest I've ever been single. I usually just was single for about a year and maybe even shorter, but my relationships never went longer than 3 years. Like that was when the 3-year period was coming up. I'm like, okay, I wonder how long I'm going to be single. I was already getting ready for it. It was so weird. Like like that 2-year coming up and I'd say, okay, this is probably the last year we're in a relationship together. And I'm already kind of seeing what's going to happen, where I'll be in that year and, where my life's going to be. But I already knew I was going to be going into another relationship after that year. It was weird, but I mean, that was the mindset I always had. And I knew it was unhealthy, but I didn't realize it was unhealthy till 3 years ago when I just decided. And like I said, you guys, it doesn't matter how old you are when you start discovering shit. It's just as long as you discover them, right? Like you figure it out. And that's why I don't mind saying it at my age, man. Like I just literally figured out shit was wrong 3 years ago and I had to fix it. And in the last 3 years, well, almost 3 years, I've learned a lot and I don't even know if I'm ready to go back out in the dating world because I don't know yet. I don't know, if things are working yet in my own mind, that kind of thing. I really enjoy being by myself, man. Like I can go on a road trip by myself. I took off to Victoria this summer. I went and visited my cousin, but I was by myself on the road. And, I really get when people travel by themselves and you're under nobody's rules. You're not, like Rachel said, you're not, I don't know. You're not relying on anybody, right? You know what I mean? That makes sense. And you just do your own thing on your own time and you enjoy your own happiness because by now what's making you happy, right? So yeah, that's what in my relationships, and I already knew in a lot of the relationships I was the unhealthy person, so I admit that shit. That goes back to owning up to my mistakes. right?
There you go. Look at that.
So
I'm jumping in.
yeah.
Here we
Anyway.
go. Okay, so man, I got funny stories about relationships, man. I would like pick people that I thought would like maybe like get me somewhere. Not like by like standards of like they had money or they had cars, but they had like ideas or they had like, for instance, I was like super like unstable and rocky with who I was as a person. So I would look for people that were stable and had their life together and kind of just like had what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, oh man, they could like, I'll just be with this person and they could settle me down, or they can, be this or be that. And then it would come to a point where I'm like, man, I'm like bored. Like this isn't what I want for myself, and boom, be out to the next relationship. One big thing too is like, I would only date certain people. So like, I thought like, for instance, like native girls were like scary to me. Like they were too like powerful almost. You know what I'm saying? I'd never admit that then. I just thought they were like too like problematic. So I'd be like, I don't want to date native girls, like, or whatever. But they were just like too much for me. You know what I'm saying? At the time. So I was real like confused about who I wanted to be with and what I wanted to do. And kind of what went back to Rachel said, man, I had to like find out about things about myself. Cause same with Nathan said, I was the toxic one a lot, man. I would go out and do stupid shit and, try to live a big life and, enjoy myself and not really care about anyone else's feelings. So it took me to kind of take that own self-reflection. And man, I have found the best girl in the whole wide world, man. I love this girl so much, man. She makes me happy. We're very much in love, man. Everything's going good. We're unlearning stuff together. We're working hard to kind of not be who we were in the past and go forward. Is it hard still? Of course. Do I have to put in work? Is it difficult some days? Do we still argue? Of course. But now it's like there's a purpose there and there's something. A relationship that makes you want to be a better person and get up in the morning and be that better person every day, man. That's something that I'll never take for granted anymore, man. So that's my story about relationships. Don't be afraid to chase somebody in a relationship that maybe is not compatible, or you think, oh, that's not the safe bet, or oh, that's not somebody that I might like, man. I would never in a million years think I would be with the person that I would be, man. And it's been the most amazing experience of my life. So that's my thought on relationships, man.
Yay for love.
Awesome.
Nice, man. Is it Facebook official yet?
Bro, we don't.
That's dead.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that, bro.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I love love. I
This.
love love. I have so much love. I wish I could give it to everyone. But right now, I'm in a relationship with myself because I love myself right now.
Right.
And that's probably why I'm single right now. I am single, but I have morals, and like I know what I want and what I deserve. And I had to love myself before I could love somebody else. But now I'm at this like stage where, I do love myself again. And, if they come back, then I'm ready. You know what I mean? Then I'm ready to love. You know what I mean? Like, I think in my past relationship, like that's why it was so difficult, because I didn't love myself, and there was a lot of anger, and there was a lot of arguments and fighting, and it was because I didn't love myself, so I couldn't love another person. And I am young, so I know like maybe I don't need love, but it's just like important to know what you want and what you deserve and what's healthy for you. Like a lot of people don't have high expectations for themselves when they really should. Like love is just like crazy, but there's always somebody out there, like Nathan was saying, I'm not with anybody, but she's out there. She's out there. She's waiting for you. She's coming. But
somewhere.
I mean, like, I don't know. It's never too late. And I think like it's a lot about like being super like understanding with your partner. So like if you're going through something and you're talking, it's not like you're against them where you're trying to fight with them. It's like in today's society, it's so messed up. It's like when you talk to somebody, they honestly just think you wanting to fight with them when you're not. You just want to have a conversation. And that's what really messes me up. But like, honestly, like love is out there, and Haley has a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yay.
But yeah.
Do you guys think it's hard to be in a relationship? I guess I don't know if Haley could really answer this, but try. But this goes for everybody. Is it harder to be in a relationship, do you think, now because of all the social media and all the shit you got to put up with? Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot more. I think social media brings a lot of anxiety into a relationship.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that's why a lot of people keep their relationships private, is because a lot of people always have opinions about it. And that's why people do decide to keep their stuff private, not because they're trying to hide their relationship, but because a lot of people have things to say about it. And it's just like.
And some people break up just because of the shit that they see on Facebook. I mean, like, or people like, okay, for instance, and I don't know if like everyone's seen it where they've put somebody, man or female, have put something on Facebook, like a comment or some kind of stat about, it's already geared to their other partner, and their other partner fucked up somehow. But they know if they put it on the Facebook, and they know those comments are coming that are going to back up, that's going to make the other person look bad. You know what I mean? It's like those reassurance comments that you see. Okay, say I messed up and my girlfriend, wherever she is, put something on Facebook, and it was kind of just like pointed towards me, and then all of a sudden you always see in the comments, oh, you don't deserve him, or no, he doesn't deserve you, and you know what I mean? All those reassurance comments.
Yeah. That just comes back to like what Haley said. What is the point of like argument? I see this all the time. There's like people will blast their significant other, and then a week later they're like posting like the pictures like they're in love again and like bullshit like that. And it's like, bro, why don't you just keep that off completely? Like, we all know that y'all argue and you're gonna argue again. You know what I mean? Like, keep that shit away from social media. So yeah, man, like I think that's it's really smart to look at my chair went all the way down. There we go. I'm back up. It's just, why leave it on? Why put it to social media? Why, like if I'm in an argument with my girl, bro, I'm not going to go like talk some shit on Facebook about her. Like, and let all my friends, like, it just comes back to having more respect for your partner and yourself. Because at the end of the day, I don't want my mom knowing that I'm arguing with my girl, or, her auntie to see that, she was a.
Oh no. He's right though. He is honestly so right. And I think a lot of people put it on there for like attention wise, right? Like if you respect your woman or your man, like you wouldn't put that out there. Honestly, I would be embarrassed to put it on there because I just like want people in my business. But that's true. What he said, like 100%.
That's what I want to get to, and that's going out to everyone that's watching this. Keep your relationship shit off. The only reason you're getting likes is because people are bored and they're scrolling and they want to read the comments and what's going on. All right, and you're so right, man. Like, it's just like you don't. Yeah, 100%. Leave your relationship.
Are we hitting our mark here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
I didn't set a timer on that one.
Yeah.
My sister commented an awesome topic.
Right. Oh, we gotta go in here.
Hold up.
Turn your phone sideways there, Raymond. Is that your sister, Taylor?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. It's all about the drama. Some people love it so much. Yes, they do. Yes, and it's all about the likes. It is, man. It's like you throw that comment, that shade status up there, like, ooh, yeah, look at me. I'm reaffirming, your you're thinking you're getting reaffirmed because you got 20 likes, 15 loves, 1 share. It's like, shit, man. No. I agree with Raymond. Don't air your dirty laundry for everyone to see. I was just feeling what Ray was. Yeah, I need that 5G. People post on relationship issues on social media because they lack the ability to effectively communicate with their significant other.
Truth.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, man. Relationships, man. We could literally probably talk about that one forever because, yeah. But it's
But there's no judgment in that either.
no.
Like if people are doing, responding that way, or I'm not going to say responding, reacting, because we react to things when we're triggered and we don't really sit and think about it. But then we can choose how we want to respond, right? It's usually in the heat of the moment that somebody's like, fuck you, blah, 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 you did this, and they're going to just post it, right? Like they're in reaction mode. And so like I get why people do it and things like that. And I try not to judge people, but I also, and I used to do that like a long time ago, when I used Facebook. I don't really use Facebook anymore because I find that Facebook is more of a platform for like very like personal things. And people just posting like every little thing that they're doing, but that's fine too. I just think that, I don't know, people are going to do what they want to do. So you can't really be like, don't post your shit on Facebook, right? It's like, if you don't want to engage with it or even read it, then just keep on scrolling by it too, right? So it's like, there's also, different sides to that.
Yeah, you can hit the unfollow button as well, but at the same time, people would think that, but we're addicted to that drama, man, and yeah,
it's true. But you get to choose what you want to engage with. Period. That's your choice. It's not anybody else's. So if you don't want to engage on someone's drama on Facebook, then don't.
Okay, then.
Let me jump in real quick. I want to say, like, I personally, man, I'll read that shit all day. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me personally. I just think that like it just comes back to the like idea that we like, are we going to let people like, not let people, I guess everyone makes their own choice and everyone can kind of do what they want on their own social media. But it's like, I don't mind reminding them of the fact that you're kind of looking foolish in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not, if we make it a normal thing, then it's going to be normal for people. And that, I believe that that's not a normal occurrence to argue on Facebook, or it shouldn't be a normal occurrence for me personally, because I just wouldn't, I don't want to do, like, I did that when I was a kid because, it's just something that I didn't grow out of right away. But for now, it's like, if we're not, like, I'll read it, but I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to know. And it's like, if we can discourage that, then it'll work. Hold up.
You should just comment on there. Take this off.
Man, when I seen them, man, sometimes I just want to put a bunch of memes under there and just like, post them and run, or put a GIF under there and just like, yeah.
Just all right, start it. Hey, I have a topic.
Oh, okay. Are we spinning the wheel or you got a topic?
Well, I don't want to ignore my sister's topic. She might be mad.
Where's your sister's topic?
I'll show it here. Topic idea. Moving forward, what would one do if they feel they are stuck or they are in a position where it's either stay stuck and mope or to get up and strive? How would one go about getting over the bump in the road?
Great question.
That's not a question. That's a topic. So the topic is moving forward, right? Okay.
Moving forward.
Moving forward. And that's used in so many terms. Go ahead, Rach. It sounded like you were ready to rock on that one, no?
Oh, no. I just was saying that was a great, you said topic, but there were questions within the topic suggestion. So I think that's really good. It's a really good topic. People feel stuck. People feel stuck all the time.
If you're stuck or they're in a position where it's either stay stuck or mope or get up and strive. All right. Moving forward. Literally moving forward. You want to move forward in life. You got you literally, like what she said. Is that your sister? You said
Yeah.
you can sit still, and this goes back to the status quo because now you are in status quo in your life. If your life is shitty and you're in shitty situations or whatever, it's up to you and literally only you to change that. Only you can change it. It's just like Smokey the Bear says, only you can prevent forest fires. Imagine Smokey the Bear saying, only you can change your life. Only you can get out of status quo. Right? It's true, man. Every time I hear Smokey the Bear say that, it's like I try to hear him saying it like something cool. But it's, man, if you want to get out, like, okay, I put out into the universe, and I believe this so much. I put out to the good into the universe that, like, I really believe that now. Like in the last 5 years, 6 years, I really believe that what you project out into the universe is going to come back at you. But don't be selfish. Is where I like, it's like, how can I, I don't know where I heard this is, but it's like the universe mirrors what you put out. So if you say, I need this, the universe is going to say right back to you, I need this. So it's put out there to the universe, what can I do to help? The universe will say, I can do this to help. Anyway, fast forwarding, what I did is I put that in universe. Like I really wanted to change my life because I was coming home and I was doing nothing. Like my day would go to work, stay home, go to work, stay home. It was very status quo, and I like using status quo because a lot of us are in that mindset that we need to just stay like this and without going this way, right? So, and this is where the podcasting started coming along. Oh, Rachel's shaking her head. She's good though. Could have an argument here. I like it, but
Get him, Rachel.
No, what's the status quo?
yeah. Oh yeah, no, the status quo. Yeah, but it's like, man, you got to push yourself to change over whatever hump you're trying to get over, and it's literally up to you to bring opportunities into your life. Don't sit there and wait for an opportunity. That's such bullshit. That quote where it says, just wait for good things to happen to you. Go make them happen for you. Get out there and do what you got to do. Look at Raymond and his podcast, man. All the good that's coming into that. Look at Haley, what she's doing, and all the good that's coming into that. And look at Rachel, like all the opportunities she's creating for herself. Get out there and just get out of your comfort zone and do what you got to do. Done. Who's next? Nobody?
I'll go. You might be able to hear some singing in the background. Don't mind that. No, just kidding. But anyways, I would say the exact same thing, man. I spent way too long caring about what everyone else thought of me, man. Like, and I'd be like, oh shit, like, what am I dressed as? What do I think? Like, what do people like think of me? You know, like in terms of like an idea that, oh man, I have to dress nice. Oh, I have to be presentable, or oh, I have to like hold up a persona. Like that was one big thing, is like I used to like rub people the wrong way because I was so brash about who I was, like, but because I was lacking it behind the scene, you know. So I was just like, oh, I'll just be outlandish and people will either like me or they won't, but I'll pretend I don't care, when really like I was just rubbing people the wrong way. And now it's like I'm trying to work on that. So, but back to like what you're saying, I guess it would just be like, so yeah, stop caring about what everybody else thinks is cool, or that has that idea. Like, man, fuck all that. That they're not gonna pay your bills for you. They're not gonna help your dreams. They're not gonna do shit for you. They're just gonna sit there and judge, right? So if you're worried about what they think all the time, man, you're up the wrong alley, man. Go out and create something for yourself that's important to you, that you love to do, and that you want to do. Because shit, I would have been like, 5 years ago, probably even 2 years ago, I'd have been like, oh man, getting on a podcast, like who wants to think they're cool enough to go talk like in front of people or just whatever. And now it's brought me some of the best opportunities I've ever had in my life. So if you're down in a bog, try something new, try something different, trust yourself, and just move forward, man. That's all I could say.
Yeah, that's good, man. Thanks. Your mic's on mute there, Haley.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Honestly, I could say so much about it.
Do it.
My advice, it's like, are you okay with being normal? Like, are you okay with being like the rest of the world, mediocre? Like, for things to change, you have to change. Life happens to you, not for you. So if things get tough and you're stuck on the bump of the road, why quit? What are you getting out of it? Why not get a reward out of it? You know what I mean? Don't cry just to run and give up. Like, run towards it. Like, run towards it. Because if you're just dreading in all this pain or whatever it is, you're not doing anything better for yourself. It's like you could get a reward out of it and you're not. So don't quit just because it's tough. It's just a chapter of your life. Say you have a book, right? Your life is a book. So everything that you go through is basically like a chapter of your life. So don't let that little chapter like mess you up for the rest of your book. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, I like that analogy. I like that.
like why let that thing just stop you there? You know what I mean? It's just like you could get over it, you could get past it. So just allow yourself to, right? Like, be driven, have that motivation to do whatever you need to do to get past it, because you can. You just need to believe in yourself. You need to trust yourself. You need to love yourself. It's just a chapter of your book. Don't let that chapter be the end of your book. Honestly,
That's good.
But
No, it's good. That's really good.
Mhm.
Wow. Go ahead, Rach.
Yeah, kind of like what Haley said. I think that I don't think that it's a bad thing if you feel stuck. You know, at some point, I think it's okay to stop and kind of like reevaluate things around you. You know, maybe like where you're at, and maybe you're kind of doing a little circle thing, right? Like doing something and then falling back into and then ending up kind of like that, you know, like people that have experiences with you know, substances and stuff like that. We've kind of like done that before. But it's also like allowing yourself to be with whatever those feelings are when you're feeling that way. Cause I think a lot of the time it's like people say, oh, you know, get over it and just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and push through and push through and push through. And yeah, that's great until you get to a place where you can't fucking push through anymore, because there's so many things that you're carrying with you and you haven't really looked at that. You haven't really like dealt with those things, or even like given yourself time to process and understand and grieve and feel and be gentle with yourself and forgive yourself. It's okay to feel stuck. It's okay to feel like you're in a place that you might not know what you want, what you can do after that, what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's about recognizing that you are stuck and then saying, okay, this is a place that I don't really want to be in anymore. It doesn't feel good. I want more for myself. And then look at what it is that you do want. What do you want to create for yourself? And like Haley said, like, create it. You are a creator. You are a creator that's in a body. You're connected to the creator all the time. That is never separate. You came here to create and to make things happen in the physical realm. So it's like, don't sit around and let people say, you can't do that, you can't do that, you're going to end up like this, you're going to do that, blah, 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 blah. It's no, you decide what you want to create for your life. And then you allow yourself to experience that. And a lot of the times we stay stuck because we don't believe that we deserve to. We don't believe that we're worthy enough. And we don't believe that we can have the things that we dream about and that we want. But we absolutely can. If it is in your heart, If it is in your heart and you can dream about it and you can dream those things, then you can make those things happen. They wouldn't be there if you couldn't. So being stuck, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little space at a point in your life, and you can always get yourself out of the trenches. And then when you're out of the trenches, you can look back and see people in the same experiences in the same place and love them and show compassion for them and know that you don't have to entangle with that. You don't have to jump back down into that shit with them, but you can be there for them when they are ready to pull themselves out of the same kind of stuck trenches. That's all I got to say about that.
Awesome. The only things that get stuck, as the great Emery Burninggrass says, are res dogs. So the rest of us can get out of whatever situation we're in.
Fuck, I saw that. My dad sent me that video.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out a shout out to our Indigenous brother over here, Kiota, all the way from New Zealand. I used to live there, man. If you guys ever get a chance to go to New Zealand and immerse yourself in the Maori culture, man, they're such a powerful people. They're pretty much exactly like us. They're how they act and everything. Their humor, just everything is almost like us, man. It's such an awesome place to go down there. So I can't pronounce that word. It goes, my 10 cents. Or is that a girl? That's a guy. My 10 cents. My Maori ancestors did not make to where they were without relying and reflecting on their past. Recognize what they did well and continued that, but also recognize what wasn't done well and change that. Taking their quality of life to the next level, or at least attempting to. Repeating those process intergenerationally. Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Right on, man. Right there. Hello from Muckleshoot, all the way from Washington State. Taylor, what a great reward to look back at the bump when you get over it. Hi. Yes.
If you manifest in the things that you want, you shall receive it.
Yeah.
You will receive it.
Yeah. And that's just like the same thing. Yeah. Manifesting, put it out to universe, asking the creator, whatever higher up you talk to. It just, put it out there. Put it out there. Think the good stuff, man. Even though if you're in the shittiest situation you're going through in your life, think, just put it out there, man. Bring it in abundance, like all the good stuff. All right, we got to move on. That one was a good one. Thank you, Taylor, out of nowhere. What is this about?
Welcome.
Just to recap, everyone. We are the 4 Sides. My name is Nathan. We got Rachel. We got Raymond. We got Haley. We're all doing different ages here. Me and Rach are representing the older crew, and Raymond and Haley are the younger ones. And we're just hearing all sides from different topics, of random topics. We have a wheel here. We spin it, and we just talk about it. So far, we've talked about overthinking and revitalization. Pronounce that word for me.
Revitalization.
Revitalization.
Thank you.
Revitalize.
Revitalization.
And then the last one we just had was relationships, and then we just had a bonus topic, which was moving forward. So, and we're using
all of Nathan's mistakes.
What? All right, let's spin that wheel. Are we done with that one? That was actually a good one.
Yeah, let's spin the wheel. How's my audio coming in? I'm off my phone
Really
now.
good, man.
Better.
Good, yeah. Good.
Sometimes your screens are lagging a little bit for me, but I'm catching you.
You're on that city Wi-Fi.
Urban Wi-Fi. Food.
This should be
Food.
Snack time.
Yeah, snack time, man. Food. I don't even know where to start with that. I love food.
Let Raymond take that one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, was that Raymond?
That was mine. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So,
Raymond.
growing up, my dad was like the best cook, right? So he would teach me early how to cook for myself because he was like, it's a good skill to have. You know, a lot of people they go home after work and their wife cooks for them, or the woman in the house usually cooks for everybody in the house. But my dad's always been the cook in my house, and he's always kind of showed me that you need to be able to cook because you can take care of yourself. But man, I love food. I love like watching shows about food. One thing I really want to get into is like barbecue. Like, how like they have the like the deep
Yes.
fryers and the smokers and the like different
Yes.
sets of like what do you call it? Sorry, I just got a text. Like the different sets of coals they use, whatever. It's so dope to like think about that. So I think in terms of food, I guess it would almost be like cooking. But yeah, I've always been passionate about food. It's something that I want to learn more about and like be able to like cook well and just like learn how to be able to like prepare big meals for people, or like cook good food. So I think that's my topic on food.
And you know what you're seeing a lot of food channels is like on the Netflix, eh? You're seeing all like he was saying those barbecue ones there. There's like that barbecue showdown and all those and it's like big things are like on TV now are like cooking shows. I don't know. Those are I did a couple cooking shows on my podcast, IOPS, and yeah, man, they're fun. They're I don't know, there's a lot of love you can put into food, and I don't know what else to say, man. There's so much different kind of foods I want to try. I really like eating in when I lived in New Zealand, and I learned that they eat a lot of lamb. That was hard to get used to. Yeah,
Where was that? Sorry.
in New Zealand.
Oh,
But you know what was cool when I lived in New Zealand, man? We they have these things. They're called the Maori. They have these things. They're called maraes, and they're basically like where their tribe goes, and they're based off the beaches almost. And correct me if I'm wrong. There, my Maori brother who's watching, but with the one we went to, I forget where it was, but anyway, the guy who was helping us, his name was Toko, and he said, Nathan, let's go. We're going shopping. I was like, okay, yeah, our big house. He says, yeah, that's what they are. And it's basically where they all gather, all the families gathers, like weddings and funerals and stuff. It's an amazing thing. But anyway, we were sitting there, and he goes, "Let's go, Nathan. We're going shopping or grocery shopping." I'm like, "Cool, man." So I'm getting all my clothes on, and then he's coming in, and he throws me flippers and a snorkel. I'm like, "What? What's going on?" And he points out to the ocean, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Right? And I don't know whoever's never been swimming or whoever's swimming the ocean. But when you go in there, so we go to the beach, and then there's rocks about 100 yards off. So we go to those rocks. If you're snorkeling, it's such a beautiful thing. Like you're seeing octopuses and these big, massive fish, like just below you everywhere, eh? And you look to this way and you see the beach. Like you see the sand kind of going up into the beach. And then you look this way and it's just black. Like if you want fear, there's nothing scarier than looking into the black ocean, not knowing if a tiger shark or a shark's going to come at you. So anyway, yeah, we go in there and we catch crabs and lobster and all that other stuff. Teka pata kai, our traditional supper markets. Yes, they bury their food. I don't know if you guys ever, like, the Hawaiians do that and the Maoris do that too. They bury their food and cook it in the sand and stuff. It's called a kai. I remember. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about food? I don't know. I'm just trying to go with that one.
I
Haley, talk about food.
love like anything like moose, deer, elk,
Oh yeah.
gopher. Just kidding.
Gopher. What's the craziest thing you guys have
I'm
ever
just,
eaten?
I don't know. I'm not into like
craziest
the
thing.
rabbit or anything. But I love like moose steaks. I love the sausage, like all of it. I just love it. But food, like I had to learn how to eat healthy because when I was young, I was a little chunky and I just was obsessed with food, I guess. But now, like, I started to, eat more healthy because, I started becoming more active, working out and stuff. I mean, I should be eating more fruits and veggies, and I'm not. But I mean, I think a lot of us don't. But seriously, like, I love food. Like, I love eating out in restaurants all the time. If I could, I would. Um, I love McDonald's. I had McDonald's today. Um,
Yeah, that's
but
one thing when you
I
get older,
personally
man. You're
like,
gonna be one thing
I
when
had
you get older,
McDonald's
you ain't
today
gonna
too,
be eating
Haley.
that stuff.
yeah,
You
like
guys
in my
enjoy it
house.
now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it now. Enjoy the fast food now, because when you get my age, man, kiss that food goodbye. You ain't getting it.
Yeah. In my house though, like my mom, my dad, they're great cooks, and I'm blessed to have parents who can cook.
Yeah. What's your guys' favorite Nietzsche meal?
Canadian hamburger.
Can spaghetti?
Nietzsche
No, like
meal
Canadian hamburger. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I know
Mix
what
it
you mean,
together.
man.
Yeah.
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 in a
Yeah.
pan, fried in a pan.
Fried in a pan. I've never done that. That sounds wild.
What? You
Really?
never
Yeah.
had leftover Kraft dinner and put it in the pan, fry it?
No, my boy just said that the other day. That's so crazy. My bro was like, "Man, have you ever tried to fry KD after, like when you have it left over and it got cold?" And I never have, but usually I eat it all. I usually can eat a whole box to myself, so there's no leftovers. But next time there will be. If there
That's when you
is,
put like
I'll
the
fry it
shredded
up.
cheese on it and the KD and everything, man. Oh, that's so good.
Well, if you warm it up, it like stays like sticky and
Yeah.
But if you fry it, it's kind of like a little crunch.
All right. I think we're good with that one. Let's move on to another one here. Let's get the wheel going up here, Haley.
All right.
Yeah, we need a music there. Entrepreneurship. Yes. All right, you guys. We're gonna talk about entrepreneurship. I don't know how long do you guys want to go till? Kind of just go with it, or should we? Because remember, we do got 2 more shows after this. Any idea?
Whatever happens, happens. I got some shit to say about this though.
All right.
I will jump in on this first because
Okay.
I have some opinions on this that I need to speak about.
Entrepreneurship is the topic.
I've actually wanted to speak about this a few times. Okay, so there is entrepreneurship that goes on in the indigenous communities, correct? And a lot of it we promote and we want to do it, but what I have a problem with is that when entrepreneurship takes over and indigenous identity ends. So now we're thinking in terms of like capitalistic people or capitalistic businesses or ideas. Yes, we should support them. Yes, we want to see them prosper. But where does indigenous identity fit into that? Because if you're just trying to make as much money as possible off of, while being an indigenous entrepreneur, I don't really see it. So I think you need to realize that you need to give back. And I'm talking in terms of like one thing that I saw that had kind of rubbed me the wrong way was that I had seen some indigenous entrepreneurs or people that have been successful start to sell their knowledge. And for us as indigenous people, our knowledge is what's most important to us. And it should not be, I don't think that that's for profit. You should want to see other people get that same knowledge that you have acquired. Yes, it has took you time and money, but why wouldn't you want to see other people prosper within your own communities? And that's where I said, I don't know where indigenous identity kind of stops and capitalism just takes over. So that would be my take on entrepreneurship. Do I still think that people need to open businesses and be successful in their own terms? Hell yeah. And like, I'm super proud of anyone that starts a business and wants to work in those fields, but you have to remember you're indigenous first. You're not a businessman first, in my opinion. But that's just my take on it. And that's that. I still think there's a lot, and there's tons of indigenous entrepreneurs that are out there that are making the right moves. They're building what they need to, but they're also giving back, and they're also sharing their knowledge and helping other people. And I think that's really important for anybody that wants to get into the indigenous business world. And that's just my opinion on it.
Wow. That was
Bless.
yeah. Wow. I never looked at it like that, man. That's sometimes I can't believe how old you guys are, man. You guys are like way wise behind your age, man. It's pretty good. So myself, I'm an entrepreneur, and I got into entrepreneur. I've always had that mindset of, I've always wanted to kind of just do my own thing. I was kind of forced to when I was living in Calgary. I kind of went on my own, and I learned how to do landscaping, and then I came and did some in a couple of reserves and around here, and that was my dive into it. And I would suggest everyone to do it, man. It's so awesome, even if you fail, and probably you are gonna like a big chance you are gonna fail, but that's the big learning piece about it. I did landscaping, and then that pushed me into becoming an electrician. I never became a journeyman, but I hired a journeyman. I worked for a company, and kind of learned the ropes for about a year and a half. Then went to another company, and then I started seeing that, as a tradesman, you don't have to have a journeyman ticket to start your own company in Alberta anyway. And so what I did, I went and hired a journeyman, and then we worked together, and they wrote my permits. And anyway, the whole experience was awesome. And man, being an entrepreneur is probably one of the greatest things you can do, because you learn so much. You learn who you are as a person, and what you can take, and like, because man, everything relies on you, and how much pressure you can take, man. It's a big thing. And there's a lot of actually grants and stuff out there for us that, if you need it, to find them. And I would really suggest going out there and doing it. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Nice. I'm proud of you, Nathan.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Honestly, that's probably one of my goals, is to start my own little business. And that's in the next new year here. I was kind of leaning towards that. But like, especially for Indigenous people, like it's such a rewarding feeling, I bet, right? Like,
It is,
yeah.
man. You feel like, even like your first check, your first dollar, your first, sometimes you do got to fire somebody. Sometimes you got to hire somebody. There's a lot of firsts, and like every single one is just like, wow. You're just like, wow.
Especially too, like with Indigenous people, like you can do so much with your own business. You could teach people, share your story, get whatever you have to say out there. And I just love seeing like Indigenous people succeed and doing something that they're passionate about. Like, I support it 100%. And even I'm working towards it, like, something like that. That is one of my goals. And it's just awesome. Like, entrepreneurship. Everyone should
Try it at least
try.
one. I guess entrepreneurship, but they should almost try it, just like I push everyone to try podcasting. Try it once. Even what you're doing, just kind of start a side gig and just see where it goes.
Mm.
Go ahead, Rach, and then I want to touch up on our New Zealand brother here. He's putting some good comments in there.
Well, let's see, entrepreneurship. I mean, I think that it's like anything else. If people want to do it, do it. Like, I just don't have any judgment around it really either. But I mean, I have a business that I created and I love, because I get to serve, busy professional women that are transforming things like trauma and emotional overwhelm and stress, into more peace and joy and clarity and freedom to create the lives that they desire, and the balance that they want. And I honestly love that. Like, I love it's an intuitive thing that I felt guided to, a soul thing, and I feel like it's aligned for me, and I wouldn't want to do anything else right now. And so I think that being an entrepreneur, I don't really call myself an entrepreneur. I just I don't know. I just serve in this way, I guess, is how I would put it. because I also teach and then create within that, within that space. But it's like, it gives you a lot of opportunities. It gives you a lot of freedom to do different things. I don't really care for the cookie cutter shit when it comes to entrepreneurship, like do this, and this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm not really into that. I'm more fluid in the ways of like how you can do things and align with things. So I don't think that you have to specifically do certain programs to be in business and things like that. But you should always do what feels right for you, what feels true to you or calls you. Otherwise, you'll just end up maybe doing something different and then investing into that, right? And then you're investing into a bunch of different things, and then you're like,
if
that's
it
not
feels
what I
like
really want to do.
work, yeah, if it feels like work, man, it's like it's not for you.
Yeah.
When I do electrical work, when I was doing electrical work, in and around wherever, every single day, man, I was just eating it up, man. I loved it so much. Like I remember, like I would go from my reserve and drive all the way to Frog Lake every single day and back again. Like that's like what, 2.5, 3 hours. Like it was just like, and then I'd work all day, but I loved it, man. I just loved doing it every day. I just loved it, man. And it's kind of like same with podcasting, because I want to get into that, and I want to get back to our New Zealand brother over here. He brought up some good stuff, and that was response to Raymond's comments. But being an entrepreneur today is a lot different from when, back when I was Haley's age. A lot different, man. Like now, and I want to bring up maybe Raymond.
Yeah, look, I just want to jump in here real quick because I have a question for you guys, and then we can kind of address the questions of everyone in the chat. But for instance, Nathan, think of it like podcasting is your business, right? Or something that you've acquired skills at and you know how to do really well, which you do, right? Let's say when I asked you to help me with the podcasting thing, you would have been like, yeah, bro, I could do that for you for sure, bro, but I'm gonna need like $350 to show you how.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to need to take you on a journey, and you're gonna have to follow what I say, and you're gonna have to listen to what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And if you, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not, there are people out there that are profiting like that, through mentorship programs and through bringing people along into the business world. Which, like I said, I just can't identify with or understand as an Indigenous person. I can't relate to that. I can't fuck with that, honestly, to be honest with you. Like and that's a strong opinion for me, but maybe it's because I haven't, put in the work to make a successful business or to do something like that. But in terms of podcasting, it's like, I'm super passionate about it. I'm understanding how to do it. I've put in the work, and I would never tell somebody that I would never put a dollar amount on somebody needing my help and me trying to charge for that. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I would just throw that back to you guys. You guys are both in the business world. This is, maybe you can help me kind of switch my opinion, both Rachel and Nathan. If somebody came to you and wanted to learn what you do, could you justify like charging them money to do it?
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but I think that, so if you use Nathan and having a podcast business as an example, so there's one thing about teaching somebody how to do something, right? Like devoting your time, your energy, your skills to giving people the space to like, here's this, you can choose to pick it up and learn about it if you want, right? There's that. But when you're in a business and you're trying to, formulate some sort of like profit eventually, or like, expand into like maybe becoming like the number one podcasting business in the country, then you're going to have to go through different levels of like, yeah, okay, so now I'm going to maybe I'm going to create a course on how you can do this, and this, and this. And then you're going to put the course out and you can like charge whatever you want for that, and people can access that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's the business world. And it has nothing to do with if you're Indigenous, if you're Asian, if you're white, if you're Black, it doesn't matter. It's just the way that people are in that industry, whether you're in like the music industry or you're in the service industry. For me, I have no problem teaching people things, how to do things, but I also know that it has taken me over 13 years of investing in myself and healing and wellness, like other kinds of programs, becoming a coach, becoming a teacher, becoming like using my intuitive gifts and things like that, energy and time. So I'm okay with things like energy exchanges. Like if you have something that you do for your business, or you like maybe you make teas, or maybe you make hats or shirts or whatever, and you want to give me a shirt and I'll do a session with you, fuck yeah, I'm all for that shit. Because it's like the trading thing, right? Which I think we're eventually going to end up going back to as we go through this economic reset that Nathan wants to get on about. Like, but it's like there's different ways you can do that. But if you're like really wanting to build and expand and grow, like, a 6-figure business, you got to have some shit in place, right?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, Rach. It's you're invested a whole shitload of your time, and that time is what you're giving back to now. You're investing your time to that person or entity, whatever you're doing. Yeah, to me, the podcasting thing, to me, I just want to see Indigenous people succeed, and I know, like, I have been asked to, to put it out there and charge for it, which I could, I guess, but to me, I look at it as like, if you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Is that
Yeah,
the guy
no.
that makes business videos all the time and
Yeah.
and never went to business school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk is just this wildly successful entrepreneur, and he's like one of those motivators, whatever. But he puts it perfectly. It's like when he could literally sell all the knowledge he knows, like all the time and everything, all the knowledge he knows, he could sell it and make whatever. But he does it for free, and the reason he said he does it for free, and he's so right, man. He could tell 10,000 people literally, hey, go do this and you're going to become successful. Out of that 10,000, you're going to get 1%, literally 1%, that actually might go and try that shit, right? Because you got to be motivated to do it, and to want it. And I've noticed through this podcast thing, I've tried helping other people to try podcasts, and you try to bring people on, and I invested a lot of material stuff and stuff. A lot of them just didn't want to do it, and then that's okay. I'm starting to learn that, right? But with the podcasting thing, man, I just think I'd like to do it for free and keep on doing it for free. I don't know if I could ever charge for it, because to me, I think it's free knowledge that I'm learning, and I know it's helping me. And then I know, like I said, some Indigenous person out there might have so much vast knowledge that they don't know how to get it out there, but you show them podcasting and then boom. Like, then that goes back to the butterfly effect where they're helping everyone else too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more understanding, I guess. Like I said, maybe I came at it from a different sense. And like I said, like I think there are so many good Indigenous businesses and businessmen out there that are making the correct moves and making the right things to do, and they're giving back, and they're getting to mainstream media, and once they get there, they're highlighting things that they see in the business world or the fashion world or just whatever world that they're in, and highlighting those things. But then there's also people that are in the same position as them that just see cash signs in front of Indigenous, you know what I mean? Their own people. Like, I would say, like, go sell that knowledge to whoever wants to buy it at the end of the day, because if you're going to buy the knowledge, then of course, like, sell your knowledge if somebody's going to buy it. That makes sense to me. But if there's Indigenous people out there that you can lend that helping hand to, just out of the goodness of your heart, man, we always need to do that, I think, as Indigenous people looking out for each other. But that's just my take.
I get what you're saying. I
Right
think it's
on.
maybe it's not really knowledge that people are selling, but it's like the time and the energy that people are putting into creating certain things that hold that knowledge, right? Like knowledge is knowledge. Like it's available to everybody and anyone and anywhere, right? So we can share that openly, and we can read a book and you can learn something. But it's like, if you are going to write a book about your life, would you not want to charge like for it, right? You're sharing your story, which carries knowledge, but also it's your story, it's your life, it's your energy, it's your spirit, it's your experiences and things like that. So I know I'm talking more about like, but because people in business, sometimes they end up writing books, right? So things like that. But it's like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's about like opening up spaces and sharing things with people, more like generously, I guess, but also everybody is also wanting to, like, we live in a time and a day where money is a thing. Money is a thing. You want to make money. You want to grow with money. You want to be abundant. The more money we have, the more money we can share with other people. That's the way I see it. So it's
Right.
like growing a business and evolving a business and creating a business and things like that. It's like, what are your intentions behind that? Are you doing it to just like make yourself like all this little bit of money and go sit in the fucking corner for the rest of your life, or like just like whatever? Or are you using it to like give back to the community, to open up things, to share with people that maybe, like your family, your friends, like there's other, it's all about the intentions too, I say.
Yeah, no,
I
and
agree
I
with
think
that.
that's important. Yeah, I just want to say too, like, like just to answer your question full out, and this is just a matter of opinion. But I don't think I could, like, if I could write my story down and give it away for free, knowing that it would change one person's life out there, or somebody would have a different thought, or maybe get a stronger idea of who they are, or whatever, like just help them in any sense of the form. I don't think I could ever profit off of that, knowing that going forward. If I didn't know that, then yeah, maybe, like, if enough people were like, "Hey, write a book, I'll buy it," I'd be like, "Yo, shit, yeah," you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that when it comes to business and it comes to money, we have a fundamental responsibility to ourselves and to other people as Indigenous people to make sure we have the right intentions when we do that. Because if we don't have the right intentions, then all it becomes about is money. And
Yeah.
if our world is only about money, then that's what's going to lead us. And look at going back to status quo, if that's what's going to guide us, and because we could have, as Indigenous people, have all the money in the world. The Canadian government could decide tomorrow to give us every dollar that they owe us. Would it fix anything? Would it help us? Would we be able to prosper with that money if we're not right in our intentions? So I would agree 100% that we need to be right in our intentions when we're doing stuff like this. And I don't know, maybe it's just I'm not getting. I don't know if I'm not getting it, or what, where it comes from, but it's something that I see that I'm just like, I try to wrap my head around it. Like, I honestly try and think hard, and I can't fucking relate to that. Like, it doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
Personally, like, I don't know, like if you're starting like something to raise awareness or something, whatever you're doing for your business, it's like if you're doing it for the profit and you're not doing it for the people, then why are you doing it, right? Like if you just need the money, then don't like act, I guess you could say, like you're starting to spread awareness, say about like mental health or something, when really you're just in it for the money. Like personally, like for me, like I would never do that because what I'm saying, I'm not being truthful to you guys. Like really, like I'm not saying what the message I'm trying to carry is like true.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
think I could do it for the money because if I had a message to just share and it was just really about the message, I wouldn't even care about the money. I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm making money from this. Well, awesome. Then maybe I can make more of what I'm making or whatever. But in my eyes, it's really about the message, and it's really about bringing the people together, or what not. But definitely, I mean, I guess the money always comes along with it.
Yeah. Awesome views from all three of you guys. You guys are spot on with all of everything. What I was told is basically if you believe in something and you're bringing value to that person, don't worry about the money or anything. Just give that value and the money will come after. Like going with that mindset, just kind of like what you guys are saying, bring that value, but that money will follow you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Raymond, I'll use you for an example. Like your podcast is starting to blow up. You don't know where that's going to take you, man. Like that might turn into because you're bringing value to people. You're bringing, you're doing it for the love, just to do it, right? But you don't know where later on, like this big company might say, "Well, here's, you know, some money I want to pay you now," right? But at the beginning,
Right.
you're just doing it for the love, right? And
Yeah.
then that wealth will follow you right after.
No. And I guess the thing that like I'm saying too is like I'm only talking strictly in terms of like go at it, go get it business. Like there are businesses out there that like if you've acquired a skill like Rachel, for instance, to be able to, like with your healing work or with what you're doing, that is a service. That is something different than a business, I believe. Like a business is just like a profitable thing for me. But in terms of like what you're saying, Nathan, like even if a big company is like, yo, like, hey, I'm gonna give you like $100,000 to do a podcast for the entire year, you guys will just run it all the time. The first things first, I'd be like, yo, like, are you trying to change anything? Are you trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, start
Yeah,
setting
yeah,
up like a bunch of nonprofits, start doing stuff with that money, like
yeah,
I don't need, I'll find ways to live and to be successful outside of things that are helping people.
yeah.
I'm sure you can do both. Like, I'm honestly sure. I'm sure you can do both. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like I would never put those two together and then like profit goes over helping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be a good balance. I don't know, man. I'm kind of rambling at this point.
Let's bring up these comments here, and then we'll do one more here. But this is kind of what you were talking about there, Raymond. So this is our brother from New Zealand, our Maori brother. So right now I'm starting a Maori-focused gaming organization, wanting to take the Maori into the esports scene. Esports, if no one knows, is online gaming. Um, Teaching some of our less fortunate families our language via Among Us. We are also having workshops on our marae, which is the big house, to create career pathways for our people into the digital space. Our people are the first and foremost. If it starts to take away from our culture, we will rein and back and rethink our approach.
Dope.
I guess that's kind of something you were talking about, Raymond. Is yeah,
It's yeah. For me, it's got to be first. Like if you're going into places that aren't indigenous spaces, then I don't think there's a problem, right? Like
yeah,
there's no problem with going into other, for instance, like let's say you're opening a car dealership, right, or something like that, and it's a predominantly right world. Of course, you want to be the best at what you're doing. I'm talking like strictly in terms of like indigenous businesses geared at indigenous people for indigenous people and doing that sort
kind of
of
like
thing.
the FUBU when it was for us by us,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. And like look at for instance like Shaquille O'Neal, right? The Shaq shoes. I don't know if you guys like have any prior knowledge about Shaq shoes, but Shaq put out a line with Walmart and he made like basically like Jordan looking shoes for Walmart people, right? He profited like so much money from these things over the years. They still sell them to this day. But
Mhm.
his main thing was to get kids that could not afford the brand name Jordans a pair of affordable shoes that look like basketball shoes, right? So I think like both of those can come like an interconnect so dope. But his reason wasn't to make $1 million, or he would have signed with Nike, or he would have signed with Reebok, or he would have signed with whoever and put them out, in Foot Lockers and wherever he at. But no, he went to Walmart with his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some people probably clowned him for it and laughed, but it's just shit like that in the business world is like, okay, you can still succeed by doing something that's different from the status quo. got some comments.
Right on.
Awesome. Yeah, we've went way over our time limit on that one, but I mean, yeah, entrepreneurship, man, it's such a beautiful thing. And Raymond, thank you for bringing up that different perspective on it, man. Like, I feel. Um, let's do one more, and then maybe we'll do a call in. You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys in
Sure.
the comments, we're gonna do one more topic, and then we're gonna put my phone up here, and if you guys want to call in, you can. It would be nice to hear you guys' reflection on tonight's show. Remember, we are going to be doing this tomorrow night and Wednesday night, and yeah, it's just a 3-part series. So we're gonna spin the wheel again here.
Spin that shit.
Spin that.
DJ, spin that shit.
Yo, I love when she
Here
does
we
that.
go. Spinning finances.
Finances.
What?
Finances.
Spin that shit again, man.
Somebody
Yeah,
talk
spin it
about
again.
finance.
Spin it again.
I already was about to.
Spin that shit. Oh,
Ah!
what?
Ooh, heavy ending.
Who's with this
Oh,
one?
polygamy.
Jeez.
This was
Are
mine.
Go ahead,
you
Rachel.
going?
Me.
Who's with this one?
This is
I
this
made
is
this one.
great.
All right, Rick.
This one might not be a good one for me, but
I don't think I even put any in these. I got only
You know
a
what?
couple things.
Let's go to this one, right? Nah.
Well, no. Let's do
All right.
polygamy.
Okay. We'll trust the
It's
wheel.
fair.
It's fun there. Okay.
The wheel
Okay.
chose.
The wheel chose our fate.
should we
Okay,
vote?
I'll go. The one thing of so polygamy is obviously like more than one being married to more than one person, correct? Is that the proper like definition? Is that what
Yeah.
we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay. So my dad taught me that polygamy has been around for indigenous people for a long ass time. If you could feed your kids, you had many wives, then that was the way it was. As long as you could feed your kids. That's what I was taught. Obviously, things have changed over time. But I don't really have a problem with it. Personally, I think I might be more of a monogamous person, but I also think that it's like I'm attracted to energy and like the spirit and soul of people. So like I don't know how you can actually just like necessarily like be with one person forever and like do the same thing with people, the same person forever, like in your lifetime. I think it's cute and maybe that's the way it'll be one day, but I don't think there's anything wrong with polygamy. I think it's really just a choice, but there's also a lot of shit out there where it's like these there's like cults and stuff around it, and it's like very very perverse, and there's like old men marrying young fucking girls, and I think that's messed up. So I think it just depends on like where you're at with it and where it's happening. But anyways, I want to hear what everybody else has to say.
I want to jump in. All right, so here's my thing. Somebody said this to me the other day, and I was like, yo, this is dope. So we were talking about this. This is why I brought it up. And he was like, we were talking about somebody that we had known, like that's kind of well known, that has many wives. And we were like, I wonder why that is. Like, we had a bunch of questions, but the main question that he posed to me that really made me think was like, if this was 30 years ago and women had equal opportunity as men 30 years ago, would we see polygamy happening today? So for instance, like the main idea I believe of polygamy is like men taking care of women, right? And you have to be able to take care of multiple women, and even more so into like indigenous societies, they would go with a man that could take care of them, like back in the olden days, that could hunt, that could feed them, like Rachel was saying. So would polygamy exist today or be as prevalent if women were given the same equal opportunities at the time? And that's what I don't know. I don't know what it would do. You want to jump in?
I was just gonna say, or
It's like you're gonna get
would
shit
polygamy, are people okay with polygamy if it's a woman married to like 5 men?
I would
That's
be
interesting.
okay with that. They're
You know, I might want to have 5 husbands that I could take care of and feed, and like I don't want to have all their kids, but you know, maybe they got a couple already. But I'm just saying, like, are people okay with that? Because I think there's always this like one-sided standard of men, and when it comes to patriarchal things, just do whatever the fuck they want to do because they've been doing whatever they want to do for a long ass time, and they just get away with that shit. But if it's a woman and they're like, nah, I'll see you on Friday because I'm going to my other husband's house tomorrow. And, you know, I'll catch you maybe next Wednesday because I'll be at my other husband's house on Tuesday. Like, are people going to be okay with that?
Guys, I have to disagree. I disagree with this. I think it's mess. Like I know like in today's society, like it's a little, you know, weird because we don't see it as much as, you know, we used to back in the old days, but like personally, in my eyes, like if you had a lot of wives and you love them because they all gave you some different type of love or some different type of feeling, I could never do that. I would want to find one person who could give me all of that. That one person that I could commit to. I could never commit to like 5 different people because it would just be like too much. Like I don't think like I can love a lot of people, but I think it would be hurtful to all those 5 wives or all those 5 husbands knowing that I love 5 different people and I'm giving my love to 5 different people, either sexually or non-sexually. Like I don't know. Like personally, I couldn't do that because it's just like I can only commit to one person. And I think like having 5 different people, that would just be like way too much for me, or 3 different people. Like it would just like be overwhelming. And I don't think it's respectful to those other people. Like even if they are okay with it, I think deep down they'd be like, oh, they're giving that other person more love, or that other person is getting more love. Like I don't know how that could, I don't know. It's just like weird. Like, especially like if I had kids or something, like how they would look at that. Like they would be, maybe they would look up to me and be like, okay, well now I'm going to go have 3 or 4 husbands. Or it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird, man, and it's weird just hearing it from you talk about it. But I mean, in general, and I'm sorry, I just it's such a weird, and I'm not saying in a bad way. It's just like shit, man. Like, yeah, I know who you're talking about, Raymond, and I, me personally, I okay, I'm gonna put a scenario out there. Okay? I'm old, man. I got lots of stories. There was a situation I was in with this girl I was dating, and she was interested in women at the same time. And so, I mean, you know, me being, I was like, oh shit, yeah, man, this is right on. Here we go, right? And you know, but when she went out searching, but we were still dating, you know, I started to get jealous, man. It was weird. I was like, what's going on here? Like, this is my dream. And but I mean, right there it was telling me like, you know, I was like, okay, I don't know, man. It to me, I just think it's weird, and it's, you know, I couldn't do it. I don't think.
But why are you jealous? Like, I think it's an
I
ego
don't know
thing.
why I was jealous, man. Like that's the weird. I don't know why. Like I don't know why. Maybe because all the attention was on me. But I mean, it's like, you know, I don't know. It was weird.
Some
I'm
girls
just
Have you
trying
ever
steal your
seen?
woman.
Yeah.
What's that?
Have you guys ever seen the show Sister Wives?
Yeah.
Like that guy has 4 wives, and they all live in like these houses in the same area. I don't really watch TV, but my stepmom watches this show a lot. And I think it's just when you watch that stuff, I know it's entertainment, but I think the men in those situations, I find they have similar characteristics, and they're quite like narcissistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. I
So
think it's a form of like toxic masculinity to want to be polygamous because there's a sense of power. There's a sense of oh, I can take care of all these women. All these women want me. All these women are at my beck and call. Like, and to get them to agree with each other on that. Like shit. Like me personally, I have too much pride to share anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, and it is a pride thing, so you'd have to put that aside. But I would say that it is a form of toxic masculinity because Nathan, you can kind of admit to this, like, especially when you're younger, it's like, oh man, like I was with 2 girls this weekend, or, like different scenarios play in your head to where you're like, oh man, oh, I get a lot of girls, oh, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I would definitely say it's narcissistic and it's a huge form of toxic masculinity to want that. But is it completely wrong? I don't know.
Think of this. This is just a scenario where maybe I'm tripping, but think of this. Okay, you're married to a guy, and that guy has 4 wives. But think about those wives. What if they have another husband? So here, you think you're with one person, but then that person's already with how many other people? And then those people that are married, they could possibly be married to another person. So it's like starting from one guy having 4 or 5 wives. What if those wives have husbands? You're like with like 20 people all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like you're not just with one person, you're with all
We're
of
getting
his
into
wives.
like now they're getting
It's
into
like-
like being swingers.
So, yeah,
You're
that's
with all
swinging.
those people.
That's swinging. Yeah.
Like,
I guess swinging is the same thing as polygamy, eh? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't
think
know.
if you enter some sort of polygamy in agreement, there's a lot of like, I would assume there would be a lot of like discussion right around it. Listen, I'm going to be married to other people at the same time. I really think it would just be like it comes down to people's personal choices. But I honestly don't know because I'm not one, so I can only speculate.
Same.
I would be scared. I'd be scared.
No, I think, yeah, I would still believe that it is not. It's just, I don't know. It's not a way of the future. It's not a way to show people that you love them, in my opinion. But what do I know? I feel like too, like, have you guys ever noticed like that usually the men that are like polygamous with multiple wives, like you said, like narcissistic, but also, yeah, like very like controlled in their behaviors and like just like kind of like they almost seem like culty. Like some of them that do it, there's like and then there's like a religious tie to that like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, what? Like I remember watching what the hell was it called? It was like a Netflix series where they did the dude on Waco, and he was like sleeping with everyone's, like he had everyone convinced that their wives should be his wives, and then they would like sever all ties with their previous husband and they would all be married to him, and then he would get them all pregnant because he was like the like son of God, like God brought him to do that for all these people. So I just think like there's probably multiple situations where guys are like, you know what I mean, in religious circles are convincing people that, you know what I'm like, these women need to come with them, and it's like that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. Hey, I want to get to these things here, these comments here. Clayton, he says you have a very modern white perspective of marriage, and then his next comment was, "Don't let Western perspectives of marriage skew our tribal perspective of marriage." So I guess that goes back to, I don't know. Anyone want to comment on that one? I guess that
I
goes
think love
back.
is love, man, and I don't think that somebody should be able to dictate or tell us what we need to do as people for love.
Yeah.
And if Haley thinks that love is what between 2 people, then love is between two people. I would respect anyone else's opinion about love before their own. Go ahead, Haley.
Oh,
You're on
she,
mute.
you gotta unpause.
Sorry, guys. Honestly, I think it's possible to love like two people at the same time, but I could never be like a second choice. Like if I ain't your first, like I don't want it. I don't want it. Like I have to be the first.
I
If
love
I'm a
you.
second choice, like no, thank you. Like I know what I want, and I'm sorry, but if you can't love me and you're willing to love somebody else like that, I'm not in for it. I don't want it. I'm sorry. Like I can only love one person. Like personally, I could love two people, but I would feel real crappy for the other person that I love because he's basically just like the second choice.
While
I don't know.
Real quick, sorry guys, I want to leave up my phone number here if you guys want to call in and maybe comment on
He's
tonight's
ready
show.
to snag.
Yeah. I always put my
Ethan just
number
throws
up
out
any-
his number for the women in the podcast.
I am not snagging. I'm not going to look for polygonomy, whatever.
Polygamy. And Rachel, you didn't have to do him like that. That's so funny.
But anyway, if you guys are watching right now, I'm not trying to snag.
4 wives. His next podcast will be like my 4 wives.
If you guys want to call in tonight and talk to us about tonight's show, that's what we're doing
Somebody
right now.
please call in. Somebody call in there.
Give us a call.
Pick up the phone.
It was nice, you guys, to hear all these perspectives tonight. Just to recap, man, we talked about someone help me out here. What was the first one again?
Mistakes.
Second was
Revitalization, I think.
Vitalization.
and then revitalization of the language, and then
Oh, you got it?
yeah, I got it right now, umpteenth time. And then relationships, and then we did entrepreneurship, and then we're finishing it up with polygamy. Yeah. Yeah, no, awesome show tonight, you guys. I'm so glad we did this, and I'm so glad everyone was tuning in around the world. Actually, we had guests from around the world, so that was pretty cool. Just so you guys know, we are going to be doing this tomorrow night and Wednesday, and we are going to fill up our wheel again. And we're looking for any kind of subject. We talk about it 20 minutes, spin the wheel, and then hear everyone's view on it. And it's great when you guys do come in on the comments and tell us your perspective, because we like to hear everyone's side, even in the comments.
Who put an angry face on the comment thing?
Yeah,
My friend Lauren, she says she didn't mean to. She put it right here. Look at that. Oops, didn't mean to press the angry.
I was like, who'd we piss off?
No, she's awesome. Yeah,
Real mad, that one.
But yeah, you guys. Oh, look at that. What a caller. Hi, you're live with 4SIDES. Who we talking to?
Haley.
Who is it?
Haley?
You called?
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, what is that?
I was
No.
so excited.
We should talk about, nobody's calling in. We should talk about our goal. What's our goal?
Our goal out of this?
When COVID's over, what is our goal?
To be happy again.
I just live regularly anyway.
To try taking exactly what the hell's going on, what happened in this past year, and try to put it in perspective what's going to happen going forward, because people's lives have changed forever, and a lot of people for the worst, some people good, but COVID has opened up my eyes and to what is important and what you need in life. It's taught me that I need to be very minimalistic in my life and not try to look for materialistic things. But yeah, just going forward, man, when this vaccine rolls out to all of us, and if we do take it, or whether or not we do take it or not, that just live life more happy and realize there's a lot of shit out there that you think that's making you happy, but you got to look real close to yourself to figure that one out instead of other shit. I don't know.
That's dope.
Mhm.
Oh,
my
what's my
goal?
phone number? Hold on.
Yeah, throw up your phone number real quick
Throw up my phone number.
on the comments, man. My goal is to like whatever my next step comes, it's going to be my biggest, and it's going to make me realize, like I don't know. I'm in a weird space right now because everyone I feel like is just biding their time. Like we're just waiting till the vaccine comes in, and or just their next step to move forward. So I'm just getting prepared for that next step that I'm going to be taking. And then when the door opens, or even if it's not open, I'm just gonna run through that motherfucker and get it done, because there's some things that I got, that I don't like talking about publicly, but there's some things that I've been working on, some things that are kind of starting to come to life for me, and I'm really excited about them. So when the time comes for me to step up to the plate, I'm gonna hit a home run. So that's my goal for the next step that I'm taking. Yeah.
Nice.
Run.
Yeah. Well, this whole COVID thing had me going. I realized so much, and
Sorry, Haley, cutting you off.
it's okay.
Hello, you're live.
Hello there,
Hi, who
Hi.
are you talking
Victoria from
Vic-
Canada.
to? So you're from Ontario, eh?
Yes.
Hi, Victoria.
I just wanted to phone and say I love the Baby Yoda background
Hey.
and a Happy New Year to everyone in Indian country. Happy New Year to everyone across Turtle Island. And please stay safe. And we're thinking of all of you.
Awesome.
Hey.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for those
Greetings
words.
and salutations from Anishinaabe country, Treaty 5, Treaty 5 and Treaty 3 territory.
Right on. Hi. Well, thank you for the phone call, and thank you for tuning in. And remember, we are going live tomorrow night and Wednesday night. It's a 3-part series. So
Thank you, Nathan, and you too. And we all love Baby Yoda.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Much love.
See ya.
You
Peace
guys
and
need to
love.
get your green screens up, man. Then you guys can put cool shit like
Well,
that.
mine fell down.
One day.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Go ahead. Sorry, Haley. Go ahead.
Oh, right. Yeah. It made me realize a lot of things, and I really, really needed to stay in contact with my loved ones and my family, like my grandparents and stuff. It was so hard not seeing them, and like I kind of took advantage of that, like not seeing them, and now I realize like I need to see them more and spend more time with them and whatnot. But when I'm staying home lots made me realize that a lot of things, like my mental health was really messed up there for a bit. And I had to really pick myself up and fix that. And I realized, like, if I'm going through this, like a lot of other people must be going through this. Like a lot of people are probably struggling with their mental health. I can't imagine. But so I was like, you know what? Like, I want to do something about this. Like, I should do something about this. Sorry. And that's when I was like, you know what? I will. And so when everything's over, you guys can expect something really great. I'm really motivated and inspired. And, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm excited, and I'm going to put all my love into this, because I have so much love to share and so much love to give. And yeah, I'm really excited, and I've been working on it, brainstorming it, and preparing for this big thing to happen.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Rach.
I think COVID has been a gift to humanity. I know it's affected a lot of people, obviously everybody, but there's been some loss for people, and I understand that. but I see it as a rebalancing happening, and not just for the collective, but also personally, individually, right? If we can look at it from a different perspective as something that has allowed us to go deeper within ourselves, to rebalance ourselves, our systems, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and see kind of where we're at with that, and where we were at, and where we are now, where we want to be. So it's just, for me, it's been like Haley, a lot of realizations, a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of healing around just even like the trauma that Indigenous people carry when it comes to pandemics, like, the smallpox and things like that. Like, that's triggering, and I was triggered at the beginning. I was right into fear mode, right into like this really deep fear of like losing everybody that I loved. And, that's in our DNA, which can be transcended and healed. And so I saw it like that. And so I really worked through my stuff and to heal and process that stuff that my ancestors experienced, so that I can leave that and create, a new kind of energy with my blueprint and carry on. And so I'm really just waking up every day and being as present as possible, in the now moment as much as possible, creating consciously, choosing every day when I wake up to live the most magical, miraculous life that I can and that I want, because I spent the last 30 years living in trauma and drama and chaos, and I'm just fucking over it. And I know that my grandmothers and family, even though a lot of them really are in their own struggles, for them, the best thing I can do, and for my daughters, is to live the most peaceful, loving, joyful, abundant filled, happy, exciting life that I can create for myself. And so that's what I do every day, moment to moment. I don't really like set goals. I just allow and open and just know that it's already done.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
dope.
Every
That's
day.
awesome.
That was good.
That's
That was
dope.
good.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I'm proud of all of you.
Yeah, you guys, all
You
three of you
inspire
are
me now.
badass, man. Like, I'm so glad we're doing this, and I hope everyone out there, like, we're trying to inspire, encourage, like, to do what you want to do, what you want to love, do who you want to love, all that stuff. Just be happy, and you know, yeah, just be, I guess. But with that, we are going to close it out, because we are going to be doing this tomorrow night, and we are going to be doing this Wednesday night, same time.
2:22.
Yes. What's that?
Sorry, the time says 2:22:55. Look at that
Hey.
alignment.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the same number thing. But yeah, I hope to see you guys all tomorrow, same time. We're all going live on our own Facebooks. And yeah, we're just inviting everyone in to join the conversation. I think I do want to bring up, because I really want to talk about anxiety and mental health. I think we should talk about that tomorrow without even spinning the wheel.
Mhm.
Bring that up, because it's so important right now. Just thinking about. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Raymond.
Oh, they hung up. Scared. Yeah. Hold on here. Red Lake, Ontario. And my son, you are my everything. I love you so much. So proud of you and what you are. Yes. Yeah, it's awesome, man. It was so awesome to see people in the comments and just commenting and being part of the conversation and hearing your guys' perspectives. all three of you blow me away, man. You guys' minds are so sharp, and you guys are so in tune with yourselves, and it's awesome to see and listen to you guys speak. You guys bring a lot of value when you speak, and you guys got leadership qualities in all three of you. I want to say that right now. So I don't want to get too cheesy, but we are going to continue tomorrow. So I don't know if you guys want to say anything or just shut her down or what.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. Much love to everybody that tuned in for our first night of 3. I'm super excited about doing this, man. Thank you guys for coming in. Join tomorrow. Invite your friends tomorrow. Let's get an even bigger event tomorrow because we're having a lot of fun doing this. And like you said, you can see 4 different perspectives from different people living different things. So I would encourage you guys to come check it out tomorrow. We're going to be having some fun. We're going to add some shit to the wheel. It's going to be a good time.
Yes.
I love that. I'm actually so excited. A lot was discussed tonight and pretty good points, all different great perspectives. I hope it teaches you guys something. I hope you guys have another perspective on it. I hope you guys are gaining some knowledge, inhaling it, whatever. But thank you for listening, commenting and stuff. We really appreciate that, and that you guys are taking part in this and listening, taking your time out of your night. Peace and love, guys. Peace and love. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, same thing. Thank you. This has been a lot of fun. I'm really grateful to be here. And I love listening to all of you and learning from you. So thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom and your love and your spirit. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. I'm sorry I only have 3 Facebook friends. So, but yeah, I'm excited to come back tomorrow. Thank you, wise Yoda man in the corner, for all of your knowledge.
All right, you guys. You guys stay on. Don't leave the podcast. But with that, you guys, we will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Saskatchewan time. We're gonna
be
talk
there.
tomorrow.
Bring Ash home.
Be there. Be square.
Around. Let's go. Peace.